and then they dropped Necrox to coach, and now they picked up Geo, and they've been looking pretty good outside of their performance in DreamHack Montreal.
All that said, though, we have Noble versus Rogue, and we will be going to Oregon. As you can see, Rogue will be banning first as they are defending.
And there's Glass. Gone.
Just like that.
And unsurprising because Crazy has wreaked havoc as Glass.
You know, we also had Glass banned in Mouse versus SK. He's seemingly being banned quite a lot lately, as is Ying. And that means that, lo and behold, Lion still in play. We actually haven't had a day or a match yet today where Lion is still available. He was banned by SSG in SSG versus EG. He was banned by Mouse in Mouse versus SK, and he was banned by Obey in Obey versus Cloud9 just the match prior. Mira will also be banned out, this is now the third match today that she has been banned. I mean, there's nothing surprising going on here at all.
No, there you go. There goes Mira and Clash. Unsurprising to see Mira get banned. I actually wonder, with the high rate of hard breacher bans that we saw at the start, what has changed and why teams are now letting both hard breachers go through consistently? Do you think it's just discomfort playing some of the attacking operators? Like, look at it, for example, Noble. They're going to be bringing a Lion and a Blitz right away. That is rough for Rogue to have to deal with right off the hop.
I think for the hard destructors, and you're right, this operator selection from Noble is vicious, but I think for the hard destructors, it might have something to do with a lack of the ability to stem the tide. Because you've got 3 hard destructors now. How do you really slow that down by banning one of them? You can't. A lot of theory was thrown about when Maverick was first announced, especially at Paris Major. Even myself, I was a large proponent. I was voicing that, in my opinion, you're probably going to see a lot more hard destructor bans. But in fact, it's gone the opposite direction because it's now so overwhelming that I guess you just can't get rid of enough hard destruction for it to matter. It used to be you could get rid of half of all hard destruction with one ban. And on certain maps, Hibana would be more powerful. On other maps, Thermite would be more powerful. And it's just become the situation where, hey, if you ban one of those, then Maverick's still available to supplement the other hard destructors. So there's no, there's no real point. You just have to acknowledge that everything will be open
5 seconds left.
And instead choose to ban out operators that would adversely affect you in that scenario, such as Ying and Glass. Because you've got all these open holes, all these open walls. What's going to prevent you from fighting the attackers? Somebody who can see through smokes when you can't, and then somebody who will just make you full blind. And those 2 operators are most powerful in situations where there's a giant hole in your reinforced wall. So I think not only these operator bans, but other operator bans that we've seen so far today. We did see a Thermite ban, to be fair, Evil Geniuses on Consulate, but most of the operator bans we've seen today have made a lot of sense. And I think the hard destructor thing is very much a niche thing. Or if you're going to Consulate, you want to defend the basement, you ban a Thermite.
Very, very fair. So, right away, Lion coming out, the Blitz, of course, being 6th picked off of. And you've got the double Heart Breacher. We haven't really seen Maverick be that impactful so far today, or even yesterday. In fact, his pick rate has been a lot lower than I think some people expected. Yeti actually, Yeti, you got it.
He's got it.
You got it, Yeti. There you go. Yito is going to be able to get through.
He did it.
But he used actually quite a bit of his breaching torch, and I think that's part of the thing here is, oh, he's just going to miss super inside of Meeting Hall, but Crazy is there to be able to get the very first kill of this match. That's the Vigil getting spotted. You don't really need to use your cloak all that well if you can be spotted with the eyes. Easily as well from above, he's going to get gunned down quite literally as he drops through the hatch. A great shot from Shuttle as he'll be detected and will rip down the castle barricade. But what's on the other side? It's Acid, but Shuttle pulls out the kill! It should have been an easy one for Acid, but not expecting, and bad coordination from Noble will come back to haunt them.
That's a big loss right there for Noble. Shuttle should not have been allowed to get either of those kills, but in the middle of a Lion, an EU1D, he was allowed to get the first, and then following with his position given away, he tore down a castle barricade with someone staring right at him and got that kill outside of front row. Incredible play from Shuttle, and now Noble is very much in a difficult spot. Shuttle's still on the roam, and their attack completely given away. The defender is well aware that the pressure is coming from Meeting Hall and the tower.
There's a nice angle from Heavy all the way down at the bottom of the stairs over in Meeting, and he'll be rewarded with a kill onto Eclipse as he manages to land both those shots at his body. Meanwhile, Shuttle's racked up 3 kills on this one. He'll take out the Maverick. Slash now waiting for the Capitao to push in, and he'll deprive Shuttle of the ace. And there is Shuttle at least getting the 4K. Very, very close. As close as you can get. Picking up the kills that are needed as that Alibi just able to gun down anybody that lays in her path. Rogue will take round number 1 on a successful basement hold. So
the new player to Rogue clearly fitting in just fine. One thing I have noticed about Rogue after their roster changes is that they are very much a heavier fragger team these days. That round consisted of Shuttle running around shooting Noble players. That's pretty much the story. And there's not a lot to analyze. It was really that simple. So good that Rogue got away with that, and props to them for making it work. Props to Shuttle individually for having the skill to make it work. And yeah, other than that, Noble, I think, playing a little bit too loose with their operator positioning. Possibly could have droned out Meeting Hall fully as well. The fact that Shuttle was allowed to stay in Meeting Hall entrance with no pressure whatsoever is pretty bad. So something for Noble to improve on in the future. But yeah, that was one guy running around shooting people. Rogue now going to move up to the top floor after successfully defending the basement. And we'll see if the run around and shoot strategy works again.
All right, can Super manage to survive the first minute of a round? There was a successful pinch from Noble. No, I'm being serious here. I like Seth. I like Seth a lot. He did get peaked pretty early on from above, as that was the joint the joint Crazy and Maverick push that you saw from Yeti. So they were able to pinch the Valkyrie off. The good thing is that you've got the 3 Valkyrie cams that will persist. And Super at the bottom or at the main floor of tower will light up the doorway and get the attention of none other than Crazy.
Well, Crazy's got a good position here. Of course, this cuts off the rotation between tower and Meeting Hall, which is very powerful if used correctly, but also a very predictable angle and one that can actually leave you exposed to other potential runouts. Yeti from the main garage will eliminate Shuttle. So that's a good start for Noble, shutting down such a powerful fragger.
Oh, he's almost going to get another onto Eclipse. And look at Yeti just trying to out-muscle anybody. That's Eclipse from 2 angles. He'll get flashed, Super tags in, and there goes Yeti. But as the Lion's roar goes off, Breezy's going to be able to pounce upon what little was left of Eclipse as the shadow of the castle, as he was already very, very low on HP. This is going to be Noble taking a lead, managing to break open one of the castle barricades that was being used by the 2 bunks just over in Generator. Super, who's still alive, will hop onto his cams, try and give himself intel. He's on a roam deep solo, the bottom of the main stairs. There's an asphyxiating bolt going down too, but it doesn't appear prime that Noble is going to be able to hop in here for the execute.
We also have the 2 golden positions that we've always talked about on this Oregon top floor still being played by Rogue. They also have the Super on roam, so potential flank at just the right moment might put this in Rogue's favor. Super, nice headshot onto Acid. And that's a good start to his flank. But there's still a whole minute left in this round. And while the man count is even now, Breezy will actually take out Slash, who repositioned poorly before Easily is able to refrag. Nice headshot on Breezy, but all of the anchors are lost now as Heavy takes out Easily, who was peeking wide, leaving just Super, who's going to have to return to site. This is not an easy task ahead of him, and he is being watched all the way from the main window. You can see the plant going down deep inside of B. The cover into the hallway door from the other attacker. Crazy will land the headshot, and Noble take the round. A nice attack there onto the top floor. Some really poor positioning from Rogue, and I think maybe leaning too heavy into those forced frags.
Yeah, I think they went frag chasing there definitely, when they really could have just waited, especially Easily after he got that 1 kill, trying to take another engagement onto the Capitao all the way at the end of the hallway. Maybe not have been the best idea, but yeah. I mean, if you get fed that intel, there were Valkyrie cams up, that could have been calls from the teams that we're not privy to, and I think that's also something to keep in mind, is that a lot of times teams will make these decisions and make these calls, and we're none the wiser about whether or not they're actually happening. We have no clue what these teams are saying to one another. So to us, and to those as well watching, that can get quite critical, and I know that we can be critical and vocal of I think, mistakes that teams make.
I feel like that's the job.
Might not have been a mistake based upon what the calls that they were being given there. So a good bounce back from Noble, and what it will also do is mean that Rogue can go back upstairs to the dorms and not have to possibly force out a kitchen or a tower defense, because win or lose on this site, Rogue can go back to laundry supply room on basement next.
Absolutely right. They have a good operator selection for this site, I have to say. See lots of information for Rogue between the Valkyrie, the Echo, and the Pulse. Eclipse likely to roam pretty heavily using that Pulse. We've seen a lot of players do a deep roam in the basement while defending the top floor using this operator. I think it was really pioneered by Falco in Season 2. So we're talking way, way, way back. And it was reinforced by players such as Canadian. But it actually seems to be that Eclipse is just going to play underneath the site, which is also a totally viable spot for a Pulse on this map. Just not as extended, potentially, I guess, a lower ceiling for damage that can be inflicted upon your enemy. However, it does also depend on where they choose to confront you from. Noble putting a lot of emphasis on the west side might mean that it's the right positioning here for Eclipse and the right focus. Spawn peek from the front door, not going to land any bullets whatsoever, and Shuttle's own body will be taken down as he is not able to get any more frags again in this round. Quickly eliminated.
Yeah, rough that this is the third round in a row that Rogue is going to find themselves at an early deficit. First it was Super, and then Shuttle now twice. This all or nothing style of play that Rogue appears to be running with its roamers, getting just muscled off the point from Noble. And the thing is that if you're going up against Noble, you've got to understand that this is one of the most aggressive teams in North America. They're able to just get into the site, sometimes for better or for worse, but get into sight and be able to take up space on this map probably faster than most other teams we see in NA.
And I have to say, this style of play from Rogue is so dissimilar to what they were pre-roster change. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it remains to be seen, but it is very different. They definitely are going for fights quite a lot more, and it will net them kills, like that one on Yeti. So good job to Super. In the middle of an EE1D, it seems to be when Rogue is put under the most pressure that they get these kills. But in the middle of an EE1D, able to get that kill. Props to him, again. But they have two Rogue players lit up, Slash and Easily, both sub 50 HP. So not an ideal situation for Rogue, despite being able to get the man count back nice and even. What is happening here?
But he's in.
Breezy and Crazy, both in the site. Crazy gonna eat a Firebolt. Acid will take down Super. The diffuser's being planted. There's a Yokai and a Pulse. Yokai post-plant will hit the planter, but it's too little too late. Easily takes out Crazy. The retake is starting for Rogue, but this is not an ideal situation. As you can see, Breezy has full control to dictate the site. Heavy as well to support him will take out Easily in the main hallway. Slash will manage to make his way in and take out Breezy. That's a very important kill. It does not seem there are any attackers watching the diffuser right now, but it's not going to matter. Acid gets the final two defenders, and you said it in the beginning of the round. Noble just walk in sometimes, for better or for worse, and they did just that, and they managed to net themselves a win.
I'm astonished at the way that that worked. It looked like the only person who was tasked with defending upstairs on either of the sites was Slash, who'd been pushed off earlier and had to head all the way to White Stairs because Crazy failed to miss his shots, but Slash had taken quite a bit of damage from the kids' dorm side of things, ended up at the top of White Stairs. The only coverage they had in that room, as you noted, was the Yokai, and they had a Pulse Eclipse. Where were you to do the intel gathering you needed to do? Probably at the bottom of White Stairs, I would imagine. Probably trying to gather if somebody's at Big Window. But there's a 9-meter range on that cardiac sensor. You can see into kids' room or kids' dorms. All you need to do is simply push off of the bottom of White Stairs. It's unthinkable to me that Rogue would let that one slip through their hands. But that's exactly what happens. And now Noble ends up getting the lead off of that impressive round. Just reading it correctly, Breezy swinging right in, getting the plant down, then playing behind the bomb, and staying alive long enough while the rest of his team cleaned up the kills on Rogue, who were trying to get back to site. Like I said last round, Rogue is given the benefit of going back down to Laundry and Supply Room, which is a site that you would assume that they should win. But at the same time, keep in mind that ever since Lion came around, and you know, now that Mira is banned, this could be very difficult for the defenders to be able to repeat.
Also, remember that the only reason Rogue won this defense is that they had a player drop a 4K, absolutely destroying his opponents. And it seemed like there was basically no contest after that. Of course, that makes a lot of sense when you get a 4K. Shuttle has yet to get a kill since that round, but on the first round, he did do a lot of work. So props to him for that, but it's not enough to rely on somebody just popping off and getting a 4K. It's inconsistent. So we'll see how the actual defensive strategy plays out now in this following round. Acid trying to cut off rotation, as we have seen Noble do many times before, between tower and meeting hall. Easily does have a camera though, and will detect his opponent outside. He's just going to double check before he runs out on Acid, who is very aware of his isolation from his teammates. At any moment, somebody could run out on him and get a free kill. Easily is keen to seize this opportunity for his own free kill. EE1D goes down, and whenever this has happened early in the round, Rogue typically gets a kill, but not to be this time around.
No. So they'll just freeze in place for just a second. I don't think the Lion has really completely understood exactly what is happening in regards to that Valkyrie camera, but that seems to be a pretty common spot for Valkyrie cameras, especially this day and age. So
yes,
I'm a little surprised, unless it's not known to them that there's a Valkyrie there. Maybe they didn't manage to get it on the 6-pick. I don't know, but look at that. Acid just looks the wrong way, but making no time or nothing, anything. Oh, yet he just walks in and he gets a kill, but there's Shuttle inside of Attic to get one for his own team, and Slash is there as well to add to that, meaning that it's just Breezy and Crazy in a 2v4.
But it looks like there might only be a singular anchor, possibly two right now, playing by the box. And Crazy looks the wrong way, so opportunity missed as Eclipse takes out Breezy. Oh, that was so close to a potential plant. Rogue will shut them out, though, and true to form, defend the basement successfully for the second time. Now putting it at the 2-2 scoreline, it seems like Rogue is unable to defend the top floor, but the bottom floor, they feel well at home. Though, I have to say, they're going back upstairs, and that does not bode well for them given their history here.
No, and I mean, we'll see what Rogue is able to do with it, but I mean, a pretty catastrophic mistake to not stick any bodies on site the last time we saw Noble win it. I mean, at least they had both Eclipse as well as Slash playing on site there, and Eclipse was able to pick up his first kill, which is important to note.
Noise.
Noise.
No, that's the thing, though. On the basement, I think it's a lot easier to have less bodies on site. There are way less options for the attackers in terms of getting to the site, and there are many more bottlenecks. So I think the strategy for Rogue with playing such aggressive roamers makes a lot more sense on the basement, and that's why they're seeing more success. I think they need to just maybe tone it down on the roam just a little bit while defending this top floor, and that will probably aid them quite a bit.
I mean, just not losing somebody early on and then somehow miraculously winning 2 of those rounds also could help.
That'd be a large move.
I think it speaks to Rogue staying power when they're down, you know, 3 rounds in, they're down 4v5, and yet they still manage to pull it together on 2 of those occasions.
The entire mentality I see in Rogue's gameplay is, hey, I trust my teammates, and I'm okay if I die early on in the round, so I'm going to make this stupid play in the hopes that I will get an advantage through dumb luck. And that's a very real thing. That's not a bad thing that they're doing that. That's just them trying to get an edge and knowing that if they don't get that edge, if they lose their life there, their teammates will be able to cover for them. And that's trust. That's teamwork. It's a very baseline form of it, but it is trust.
I mean, I don't necessarily think, though, that in all of those instances, it was Rogue trying to break that open with a risky play. I think 2 of them were just simply wrong player, wrong place, wrong time, and especially for Super and Shuttle, at least on one occasion. But
to be honest, didn't catch the first one, so I think it was a bit off screen.
Well, the Super's kill in round number 1 was inside of Meeting Hall. Anywho, speaking of Meeting Hall, it looks like there's minimal presence from either of the teams outside of Noble, who are currently coalescing around the back tower. They haven't used any of their Lions E1Ds, or EODs, as they're sometimes called shorthand, which means that, as you noted, that Rogue has been able to pick up a kill on at least 2 of those E1Ds. They could possibly jump in for a 3rd round. But we'll eclipse the half-minute or the half-round mark here on round number 5.
Have we been seeing Lion every round so far from Noble? I believe we have.
Yes, we have seen Lion every single round from
So I definitely expect Rogue to do very similarly, where they bring Lion probably every round. Usually, when he's not banned, he's played. Crazy. Nice headshot. On to easily. In the middle of the hallway. That's more of that poor positioning we've been seeing from Rogue quite frequently, and it looks like they're getting, again, very aggressive onto this west window, but it's being marked out and called. You can see the push from the smoke will get the shotgun blast onto Crazy. What a play from Slash. What is this mentality from Rogue that is keeping them in the match? Shuttle will be shut down, but Eclipse immediately responds on to Heavy.
And there you have it. I mean, you mentioned these plays that seem so silly. Now Super's going to be able to tag up and then finish off Yeti. Slash is pinned down over by the big window. Not going to get anything, though, as Eclipse is there to try and bail out his team. Acid will hit the last E1D, spring through the window into generators, hit the barbed wire, and give away his position. And Eclipse holding the angle, just waiting at the top of White Stairs, will give Rogue the first split. They'll walk away from it from a kitchen site to defend, which there is, but Noble's going to go downstairs first.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get to go to kitchen. I think this is going to be very similar to the first half, where there will be a site that Noble is very comfortable on, and they will be able to defend successfully. But then, going into the second site, they will struggle, as Rogue did on the first half. Although it could be crazy. I mean, maybe Noble's good on defending both, and then we do end up going to that third site. But then also, haha, they could go to tower. That'd be cool. Anyway, they are going to go to the basement for the very first site. And I like that basement is still the go-to, despite not having that mirror. I very much do appreciate that. Of course, Thatcher will be brought by Rogue, as it is essential, given that it's very likely Mute will be in play. And Mute is indeed in play. It will be used to jam that drop down. Now, since you have to have 4 Excaros on the drop down in order to open it up, all 4 of them must detonate. The Mute Jammer is a lot more powerful underneath the drop down now. It used to be there was a corner, a little corner, the southeast corner to be precise, if you place this jammer, where you could get 1 Excaros to detonate, 1 little pellet, and it would open the whole drop down, but that is no longer feasible. And as such, the Mute Jammer is much more powerful, as I talked about, which means if you contest the main stairs as a defender, you can potentially prevent the drop down being opened up at all. However, all that is nullified because there's a Thatcher in play. So, good call by Rogue.
A good strategy a lot of times to ban either Mute or Thatcher here and really give power to the other. You'll see a lot of teams will ban Thatcher, and then you know that Mute is coming every single time. And a lot of teams can counter-ban Mute as well, or rely a little bit more on a Twitch as well.
If you see a Thatcher banned in the very first ban of the match, then you bet your bottom that it's going to be a Mute jam by the other team right after. Or they're going to rely on the Mute as well, because it goes both ways. All that said, minute left, or sorry, a minute expended by Rogue, and they will be pushed into the main lobby, and they're just looking for fights. They're looking to control the main lobby and deny the rotation. They have cut off the west side roam, and now they will be isolating those roamers in the meeting hall as well as downstairs as best as they can. There is still 1 inside of attic and in meeting itself, as well as the tower stairs. So this is some good positioning from Noble. They cannot extend themselves further than this, as they would run into the counter flank from Rogue. But they do have the potential to, during the plant, spring into action, which is very, very good.
So easily will go on to drone at the bottom of the stairs. Those mute jammers, of course, being cleared up will mean that not only can they get the hatch, which they did successfully, but the rest of Rogue can now actually drone with greater ease and not have to worry about getting jammed at any point. But, oh man, Shuttle. That is a 5 trillion IQ play there. Ends up hitting the wall with his explosive rather than being able to get that evil eye. And that is going to cost him dearly. Not just taking out roughly half of his HP. I think people forget how much those impacts do, but also it's going to leave the evil eye still up. Now you have Yeti playing in the back of tower with both those evil eyes there, giving him all the intel that he really needs.
He also hit a really nice shot onto Slash from a far angle that was actually opened up by Super. So Rogue kind of countering themselves a little bit there in the earlier stages of the round. Look at this though, 34 seconds left. Noble still have so many tools to deny a plan. Evil Eye is still in play, gas canisters still in hand, and Roamer still in meeting hall. At any moment, they could pounce. They're now going to be forced into a bit of a corner, but Eclipse will hit a nice shot through the broken table onto Crazy. Diffuser being planted, but it will be marked, and Breezy an easy kill, a double C4 for Heavy, and Rogue is completely shut out as Heavy gets the final frag. A 3K for him, and a wonderful round for Noble. Rogue taking way too much time there, and like I said, completely shut out from the basement.
And good job from Noble to equalize. This is a situation, as I said earlier on, where Noble is going to need to rack up as many points as they can.
Noble has not, or sorry, rather, nobody has lost a defense of the basement just yet. It's been a coveted bomb site despite the Mira ban, and the question I think lingering in the air is, will Noble be able to successfully hold the top floor? Because it was a bit of a struggle for Rogue. The first 2 times they were unsuccessful. The third they managed to make it work in their favor, but it was a pretty narrow round. Well, actually, no, it wasn't. I mean, it was an odd round. I wouldn't call it narrow. Rogue just kind of played hyper aggro, and they made it work inexplicably. Anyway, Noble now will be going to the top floor, and I seriously doubt they'll be playing as Rogue did when they were successful upstairs. I think it'll be a little bit more passive, just a tiny bit. I like the shield there. That one, that shield that has been placed is a nice pixel angle that you can use to challenge the attackers as they attempt to push from the armory. Just between the shield and the wall, there's a tiny little crack usually, and that can be very, very powerful. Evil Eye placement also pretty solid here from Yeti so far.
10 seconds to go.
Yeti has been a standout so much on this team, being the glue that keeps it together. You know, he was the only person on the team that had any previous Pro League experience until Crazy joined up. Crazy, of course, joining along with Benji to play on Era for only a game, if I remember correctly, last season, before the shakeup on Era and then them going from Era to Obey Alliance. That was a pretty big changing of the guard here, because for much of this game's history, both Era and Most Wanted have been orgs that had stuck around for so long, so having them exit, I think, was a real big turning point here for the big orgs to come in. At least knowing that they wouldn't be there any longer was, I think, a big change. So, but Yeti has been such a good player for this team, very impactful. It's decent leadership, and of course a great head of hair as well going in his favor.
I can say with the utmost confidence that his hair is fantastic. His personality, his optimism.
I'm a fan of Yito.
I'm a fan of Yito as well.
I'm a big fan of Yito.
The big Yeet.
I mean, also Yeti and I have a personal connection, because his team was one of the first Pro League teams I ever casted before I ever made it to Pro League myself.
Really?
We were cheering on each other to make it to Pro League back when. Oh, great kill there. Speaking of Yeti.
Bye, Yeti.
See you, Yeti. His shuttle is there to take on Yeti and
Destroyed.
Absolutely punished. Now Crazy will jump up, try and avenge his teammate, but shuttle has already fallen off.
So, nice play there from Rogue. That's the stellar coordination that you can expect from Rogue. The drone in for Shuttle, allowing him to get the kill. Now, you can see they're going to reassert their focus on that actual site. Ooh, that is a huge misplay from Breezy, but easily doesn't actually read the misplay and puts his firebolt in the wrong spot, allowing Breezy to relocate and easily destroy. Okay, now I didn't mean to do that, but he did kill easily. I was going to say easily kill the Capitao.
Well, I mean, he easily killed easily. Breezy will have to lean the wrong way to try and stave off Slash, who almost gets a face full of buckshot from the shotgun of the smoke of Breezy. Still under fire. If only Slash had a projectile that could possibly flush people out with an explosive fragments, but I don't know what that would possibly be. Heavy's going to kill Shuttle, and Shuttle got the earlier kill for Rogue. This is a very winnable position for Noble now, as Smoke is going to sit amidst his smoke. Toss it as Toxic Babe, but there you go. Breezy's going to get finished off by Slash.
So, no grenades necessary for Slash Hug. He manages to make it work without. Well done indeed, but look at that. 30 seconds left, and time is not the friend of Rogue in this moment. Super inside of the closet downstairs in kitchen. Nice kill into Crazy. Expecting the pressure from the other defender, but he's already rotated back upstairs. Acid will take out Eclipse as the diffuser has been planted. Slash doing some tremendous work for his team. Will also get the kill on Acid post-plant. Heavy the last defender, but he'll take out Super, so this is totally winnable, especially considering he's playing Pulse. But his dead counter is IQ, and guess who Slash is playing? Will the C4 meet its target is the question. As Heavy detonates, it's very unlikely. He doesn't really have time for this, and Slash is just going to vault out. He's nice and safe now. He actually vaults back in. This is potentially a kill for Heavy, but no. Heavy's reading too much into the heartbeat detector, and the opportunity is missed. Slash will get the final kill. Rogue wins the round.
That was very close. I think the call must have come out for Slash there that he's a Pulse. He's a Pulse. Oh, he's got C4. Possibly run, and that's why he was able to head for the hills.
Yep.
Or in that case, better yet, head for the big window. So dorms for Noble yet again. They will unlock Laundry after this. Similar situation that we saw Rogue in. So this will, presumably be the last offensive kids dorms that we see in a row. If they win it, obviously they'll have to go to another site on their final defense should it come to that. But Rogue are 1 round away from match point. This composition that Rogue brings, they bring on a lot of maps. The Buck, Zofia, Hibana, Capitao, and IQ. But it does appear that the Capitao will be swapped off of. No 6-pick, at least for Noble right now, but they'll use it to go from Pulse to Valkyrie. Easily still thinking it through, and he'll go on to Thatcher.
Interesting. Thatcher, so maybe a master take in the works here for Rogue. That's the only reason I can imagine they're going to want to bring a Thatcher, but at the same time, there is no Mute nor Bandit on Noble currently, so not going to be a crazy powerful operator. He will be able to take out, of course, those Legion traps, which is very useful, as well as the Jaeger ADSs. However, recent update with Grimsky, if you are not in the know, is that Thatcher grenades no longer destroy cameras, which is neat.
Just disables them.
Just disables them for a set amount of time, I believe 15 seconds, I want to say, and then they're back in play. So the Valkyrie cams will not be too terribly affected by Thatcher. An interesting change, to be sure. Though IQ is still in play, and Slash has been really favoring the operator, so those cameras will be detected in all likelihood by the electronic detector from that operator.
Is that how it works?
Yes, Parker.
Okay.
Eclipse looking to make his way into the junk tower. Has broken down the door, and this is a decent push. The complication that I find here is he's doing this by himself. Usually you'd have one person droning him in here, and that would make the push a lot more efficient. And it looks like Super is going to be the one to do just that. As you can see, coming from the lockers, Super is already droning ahead.
He's going to spot the Maestro there, and the Maestro will get pushed into garage and gets shot at an awful lot. I don't know if that's a joint effort from Eclipse. It's going to force Yeti off of his position and heads in towards garage. He's under fire and also getting droned out, but he's lit up Slash playing in garage, looking to see if there's going to be anybody else from Rogue to try and jump on this. It's a strong position, though. That Maestro with the LMG able to take long-range engagements pretty easily. Quite a long reload, but he'll still make it work, seeing if there's somebody by garage. I don't know if the rest of his team is providing intel with possible Valkyrie cameras or even the Evil Eye cams. They know that there's one playing in, and Yeti, a great read! Misses the drone trying to get it, but when your sensitivity just doesn't quite work the way you want, a second for Yeti onto Easily before traded out by Shuttle. The man was just on a one-way mission, or one what is it, a one-man army, I guess I could say. You know what I did?
What? Did you mash the Indiums? Parker, you've done it! High five.
I can't believe I mashed the idioms.
We're doing it together, Parker.
That's okay.
We're turning this into an idiom mashing stream.
I was supposed to say one-man army or last stand, and I said one-man stand or something like that, as if he's a one-man band, like a troubadour. Anywho, here you have Rogue in a good position to possibly get another kill inside a meeting hall here. They are, of course, chasing more than the one kill that they have so far of Yeti with a minute to go. It's Heavy, who's just patiently awaiting a drone to come in through the rotate hole inside of Attic.
He's going to drone out that Valkyrie. So good information here for Shuttle. And he's been hitting his shots lately. He's definitely aware of what he's confronting. But he's going to have to pick up a lot of slack for his team given the current HP situation. Though as he starts his spray, he does come out ahead with the engagement, lighting up the Valkyrie and putting him on even ground with Slash, who is also very lit up. But the C4 still in hand for the Valkyrie and able to deny the push into the actual site will be Breezy on that smoke. Shuttle also going down to low HP, as will Super as he attempts to sprint into the site. Acid, an easy double kill on the hard angle. Slash, though, pushing up the white stairs, also going to really just not have enough time. Breezy, equally easy kill. And Noble will take the round 4-4. A continual back and forth with these teams, and neither able to really push themselves into the advantage for any extended period of time.
Really interesting there, the way that Rogue failed to adapt in the middle of the round and really scrambled through it, rather, giving Noble prime opportunity to just hold the upstairs. And I mean, we've talked about dorms many times and the way that successful defenses work on it. But even when outnumbered, it's very easy for you to be able to possibly lock out the attackers by holding down two areas. In particular, if they haven't been able to get open that master closet wall, you hold white stairs, or you hold the hallway leading to armory. And that's exactly what Noble did. They just needed to hold those two positions, and it was off of the Jaeger of, I believe it was Acid, who was doing so well there in particular. So, good job for him. And now, Noble did win dorms, so they can go back down to Laundry. We're going to need every single round of this one to call it, as we are 4-4. So we will head to the 10th round. The real question here is if Noble wins this one, do they go to Kitchen or do they go to Tower on match point?
Yeah. So we predicted an overtime in the last match. We did not get an overtime. It went 6-4. But this is another time where I'm going to say I'm foreseeing overtime. Noble very likely to win this defense of the basement unless Rogue does something absolutely crazy. And as Yeti gets the headshot onto Shuttle, spawn peeking outside, he is going to set the tone and pace for this round. It looked like it might have been a construction rush, but that construction rush will be silenced thanks to the great gunplay from Yeti. Anyway, if Noble win this defense on the basement, which is likely, then what you're going to see is Rogue attacking onto Kitchen or Tower, because the top floor was also just now successfully held. So Kitchen and Tower are not very easily defendable sites, which means that it's very likely we will see a 5-5 situation.
Yeah, I feel like unless something really big changes here, we're probably going to get a draw as well. We said this though in the Obey C9 match, and we were wrong there. So
true.
You know, it's definitely something that we could be proven wrong on, and I'm always happy to be proven wrong as well. It was a kill hole from Yeti as he's going to get hunted down by Slash. Slash holding that angle, expecting Yeti to reappear, but that 3 armor is a bit more mobile than I think they anticipated.
I definitely expect a draw, but I more look forward to somebody actually winning. Well, we'll see. We'll find out. In the meantime, the attack has been pretty darn efficient despite losing Shuttle very early in the round. Yeti has somehow managed to make his way back into the garage, as it does not appear that Rogue is attempting to shut this position down, which could potentially do a lot of damage moving forward. As Yeti is given another opportunity, he will miss it. A very narrow shot, but an opportunity nonetheless. And Heavy is even trying to peek outside with him. So some good coordination here from Noble. They seem to have gotten their wits about them. Slash shutting down the attic play, though. it's kind of whoever blinks first in this situation, but Slash is going to completely relocate.
I think that's the right call there. Don't possibly try to take that that close range fight, especially when you need to hustle because you've got, 45 seconds to be able to get your push off. The bigger problem is that you've still got 2 roamers upstairs who have not really been found out, and at any point can possibly rotate to try and help the rest of the defense. The final yokai from Acid is thrown out now, so he was holding on to that for dear life with 30 seconds to go. A good time to whip out the second electronic drone available, and you can see both of them now in action. It's going to be situated just by Breezy at any point, ready to hit the rafters. Heavy will find easily, as that was the mute that had not been uncovered, playing from above. A Slash runs in, doesn't have the diffuser down, gets a great kill onto Breezy here, but cannot find a second as Yeti will. And Yeti cannot dance around that deployable shield fast enough. Eclipse will get a kill before being disoriented twice, and they'll just sprint right in. There's Heavy picking up another kill, and Crazy will end things off, and that will be match point for Noble. So no matter what, Noble will walk away with 1 point here, which is a win, given the fact that they are so close to fighting in relegations in terms of the standings.
But this is also what we anticipated. Noble winning the basement defense. Nobody has been able to win a basement attack yet, so there's nothing crazy happening here. However, now, since Noble has won both the top floor and the bottom floor in the last 2 rounds, they will have to go to an alternative site, and their choice will be the tower, giving Rogue a distinct advantage that if they fail to utilize would be honestly pretty surprising. They have the right tools for the job, especially that Capitao going to be very useful in this site. Noble's going to have to do more of their, I guess, aggressive play that we saw in the previous round, I think, in order to set the tempo for this round to be successful. Otherwise, if Rogue is able to establish themselves in a very standard attack strategy on this particular site, it is unlikely that they will fail.
And the thing with tower, of course, is how aggressive it is. Usually tower defenses end pretty fast, one way or another. And given the fact that we've seen Noble be so, I don't even want to, I guess, flagrantly aggressive here, I would imagine they're probably going to take a lot of engagements against Rogue and try to fluster them, because I do think Rogue is definitely going to be flustered at this result. This is a huge loss for Rogue if they can't win this match.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, they can't win it. The best they can do is draw.
Yeah. This is definitely a situation where Rogue is up against a wall. And I think Noble, on the other hand, are definitely going to be feeling jubilant as they...
Jubilant.
I can never say that word right. I know how it's pronounced. I just can't say it right.
Would you say it's the Neo-fighter of words? Mr. Neo-Typher?
I'm just going to call him Keanu Reeves from now on.
I can't call him Neo, not like that. Anyhow.
I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. You tempting me to do it? I'm sorry, Neo. I apologize. I love you,
final round of this matchup, and you got Yeti upstairs. He's going to literally be he's barricaded. He's got a fortress around him. They do look like they've opened up one of the windows, but there still appear to be 2 castle barricades up top as well.
So one of them has been destroyed, and the second one will be destroyed by a thermite charge. Hey, if it works, you don't need the thermites for anything else. Damage done. Angle opened up. Yeti feeling more pressure. Shuttle on the window has a shield between him and his prey, but the shield will not be all-encompassing. And as Heavy takes out Slash, it's a good start for Noble. Yeti still managing to hold on to this position is very important as well. It's looking like it might be a lockout here for Noble as the time is continuing to tick away. Rogue, though, will get a nice shot onto Yeti from below. That was very, very impressive from Easily, looking for that angle play and making it work to his team's advantage. Though Heavy on the prone, a very sneaky peek outside, will take down Shuttle. So it's a back and forth between Rogue and Noble, neither able to take a distinct lead, though it looks like it might be craning towards Noble.
And that was a gorgeous play here. Good drone work as Super cannot get the kill, but Eclipse will manage to find it. Breezy gets one onto Eclipse, so Eclipse will immediately get knocked off after his kill. It's going to force Breezy to have to push off his position and find some safety down in rear stage. A Yokai drone will be tagged in, and that's Acid using his gadget to the best of its ability. Rogue is taking control from above. Both Super and Easily last 2 alive for Rogue. as there goes one of the Yokai. Super's going to breathe in some of that toxic dust, and the Yokai, there you go. You'll get Super right in mid-plant, but time is not in their favor, and Rogue actually in great position to hold this, especially easily, who'll lord over the site. Heavy's going to get detected and try to fight his way out of it, but it's Super there. It's going to prompt Acid to get off his drone, and this should be fairly easy for Rogue. Plant goes down from Super, and easily just watching the stairs, Super will be credited with the kill, and we will have a draw between these two teams. It was an opportunity squandered for Noble, who could have desperately used those points, but for Rogue, it's not a loss, so they will still be able to hang with the other teams at the top, and still walk away with 1 point.
And Noble definitely really needed that, and it honestly looked like they had it in the bag, but not enough weight put on the top floor of that tower, and Rogue was able to isolate it with relative ease after getting just a few kills. Despite being in a man disadvantage, they then went for the defuse plant, and they managed to make it work, despite not actually getting the defuse plant, just off of frags and frags alone. So, actually, either way,
the plant did go down.
The plant did go down. I was about to correct myself. It doesn't matter. In the end, the pressure on the top of the tower was all that it took for Noble to be tripped up, because they can't, and this is why tower sucks as a site, you can't easily retake the top of tower. Once it's lost, it's lost. It's just then, oh, what are you going to do? You're going to push up the stairs? That's not a great idea, because then you'll just die on that attempt. I mean, it's a hard site to retake.
It was a good effort, though, still, that we saw
Very
out of Noble. You know, I honestly think part of it was Noble not being as aggressive